Cheers, how are you? Welcome along and thank you so much for your time this evening. A massive 3 points for Aston Villa. Let's focus on that, but first, before we go any further, thank you very much for always tuning into the channel and helping me with it. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. What's phenomenal about YouTube is that there's a studio app and you get all of the analytics and the detail, the fine detail. And now there's a lot of you who seem to come here often but haven't subscribed yet. What's that about? Why are you being tight with the subs? Hit me up, hit subscribe, and please give me a like. Is that unprofessional? It's fine. I've been very, very good this week and I've earned myself a nice wee glass of wine. Well, there you go. The return of the WSL season, part 2, from the Christmas break. We're in the middle of the January transfer window. That was what was on offer this afternoon up in Birmingham as Aston Villa took on Tottenham Hotspur. All eyes on the new signings, the legends of the signings as well. Beth England for Tottenham Hotspur and Nobbs and Lucy Staniforth for Aston Villa. Perfect, brilliant, big 3 points, that's what I will say. Spurs fans, I think you'll be happy in a way of what you saw, but that's now your 5th consecutive loss. So Rhian Skinner, I imagine, will just be pulling her hair out. But there was Villa, they could have got more from today. They could have done more because defensively Villa were shaky at times. It wasn't their usual defence in there. Rachel Corsie was missed, of course. But hey ho, it's a big 3 points for Aston Villa, and I am happy to see that. If you were there today, well done, because the weather's been absolutely miserable. I didn't make it. I've been with my kids and my family all day, and got to see bits of it on the FA Player app. Also got to see my sister talking about going home and petting her cat. She's just the most embarrassing person, isn't she? But yeah, I mean, it was a good game. It had what it had to offer, and it was a juicy one as well. Aston Villa getting a win over Spurs is a huge result. Anybody beating Spurs is a big result because they are a favoured team who are there and thereabouts, who are strengthening all the time. And for me, what it is about Spurs is the fact that they are pushing themselves forward as a club all the time. The record, if it is true, record signing of Beth England in the transfer window, and that transfer fee. Also the fact that they've built the grounds for them and the training centre for them to push forward as well. They should be pushing for Champions League in the next few years. Something isn't quite right just yet. But I have to say, as a team, I think they're definitely ones that you can never ever write off. And Aston Villa today to get that win, well, they weren't just lucky. They were better. They were the better team for me today. And they've just got winners. I'd say a little bit more winners in that team than Spurs. Let's focus on the new arrivals then. Lucy Staniforth and Nobbs starting in the midfield for Aston Villa. Alicia Lehmann was on the bench. She came on and did have, I would say, an impact as well. As I say, Rachel Corsie left out of the side. I think she got a niggle. And starting to see a little bit of strength coming back to that Aston Villa side, because we know their bench was threadbare heading into the Christmas break. So you can see them starting to build up slightly. Spurs, the arrival of Beth England couldn't have gone more to plan. Well, for the first wee while anyway, because of course they took the lead. They were 1-0 up, and that was all thanks to a lovely goal from Beth England. And we've said it before, Rhian Skinner and Spurs needed that out-and-out striker. So now that she's come in, I do think we are going to see a lot more of this trend going well, and Beth England stays fit. I think she is the perfect fit for Spurs. Then equalised through Kenza Dahli. What a strike. What a strike. Just 10 minutes later after Beth England's first goal, Kenza Dahli made it 1-1. If you haven't already, 20 yards out, straight from outside the box, and you just go and Google it, YouTube it. It's a belter of a goal. She's a player for me. She's actually been, Rachel Daly got the second goal, got them the 3 points. Is a brilliant signing, but for Kenza Dahli, for me, I enjoy what she's bringing in the link-up play. you know, I think she's great. I think she's a very, very good player, and she has been the difference for me at Aston Villa, of course, as well. Obviously, is Rachel Daly, but you know what I mean. So yeah, the second goal, of course, came from Rachel Daly. A nice cross from Hansen. Hansen again, another great signing to Aston Villa. The ball came in, Rachel Daly put it away, and that means she's got 9 goals so far this season, and I think she's managed to get them 10 points. Her goals have managed to amass most of the points. Anyway, takes Aston Villa up to 5th. And I said this to you yesterday, didn't I? They're up to 6th. Well, 6th, they're kind of joint 5th. Goal difference is an issue here, but I trust that they're going to be okay. I do trust that with Aston Villa, and I guess what, for us, for even Villa, maybe the shock at the start of the season was them beating Manchester City. They've got Manchester City Part 2 next week, and City are just quietly going about their business. They're on this nice run of form again, which Gareth Taylor just seems to do every time. You know, it's this woeful run and then it's this brilliant run of form. City are so good, and some people predicting that City will finish 2nd this season because of Arsenal's injuries. Perhaps they'll drop off. Chelsea will go top. City, the way that they just keep maintaining and going, they'll hop up into 2nd. I don't want to see it that way just yet. That's nothing against City. For me, I see Man United still there and thereabouts, and taking that 3rd place spot. I don't want Arsenal to drop down into 3rd. I don't want that. They need to be up there. And looking ahead to tomorrow at the Emirates, I can't. I'm so looking forward to this, but also you're beside yourself because we know the Arsenal injury crisis. But 40,000 tickets sold. I believe it could be 45 soon. Maybe even tomorrow could be up to 50. The record was 47,683. Is that the number? I can't remember. Something like that. 47,000 anyway. So it's incredible that's to look forward to tomorrow. Even the turnout at the Walsall Stadium today, the Poundland Stadium. I mean, come on, why are we calling it the Poundland Stadium? I get it, but you know, come on, could be sexier than that, guys. Even just call it the Dollar Stadium, sounds better. That's a good turnout. You know, we're starting to see that now, and again, it's good moves from Aston Villa and Tottenham Hotspur bringing in these signings because they're big names. They're going to bring in crowds as well, more people wanting to turn up and see how these teams fare. Carla Ward, the Villa boss, saying today that everybody played their part as a collective. You can tell she has got a spring in her step. The business that Carla Ward has done this January and did last summer, she must be sitting there going, okay, we're getting something really, really nice together right now. And you know what? This is to you, Carla Ward. Cheers, babes, cheers. And long may it continue. Manchester City take on Aston Villa next week. What are you going to do? What are you going to do about that? Villa beat City first time round, so I'm hoping that's going to be the case next week as well. That would be a massive 3 points for Villa. What did you make of the new signings? Jordan Nobbs got 75 minutes. Both her and Lucy Staniforth started in the midfield. Will they be the answers to Aston Villa and moving up the table this season? You can let me know what your thoughts are, and I will see you tomorrow, of course, for the London Derby.